Roger Valdesari, my boss, who's kind of the Bob Bradley of Notre Dame, he said, "What are we doing here?" And what he meant by that is, wow, this is going to be a tough place to play, a place to win. So this was the first time Notre Dame and Clemson had ever played.
Um, does this weekend sort of bring it kind of full circle for you? You've been at Clemson a long time, but this has got to be an exciting week for you.
Yeah, it really is, because I've got 3 guys I worked with in sports information at Notre Dame that are coming to the game. John Heisler has my position at Notre Dame, and I was a grad assistant with him in the end of the '77 season. He was at Missouri before then, but yeah, I've gotten hit from tickets from 3 different sides. My old friends from Notre Dame, Clemson friends, and then national media too. So it's been kind of crazy.
You know this as well as anybody. The historical significance of a game of this magnitude, top 12, both undefeated, Notre Dame, Clemson, for Clemson, from a Clemson perspective, it's significant.
Well, you can just go back to the 1977 game, really, because when you look at the players who came in on their official visit for that game, you had Jeff Davis, you had Perry Tuttle, and Terry Kennard were all here on their official visits. 2 of them are in the College Football Hall of Fame. The only recruiting class in ACC history, by the way, that had 2 future College Football Hall of Famers, and then Perry Tuttle, who was an All-American. So you can ask Jeff Davis the impact that being at that game that weekend, had on him. So I think having traveled with Notre Dame to that game in '77, I could see the respect level that Clemson's program got, even though Clemson lost that game, because Notre Dame went on to win the national championship that year, and that was the only close game that Notre Dame had the last 8 games of the season. They won the last 8 games, beat everybody else by an average of 37 points a game, and only beat Clemson by 4.
Some of your tweets are borderline epic. I will say that. I think other people here agree. The one about the 1,977. How did you go?
Actually, I gotta give credit to my buddy Sanford Rogers, because he asked me, I wonder how long it's been since, how many. He actually said how many days. So I just went on one of those websites and put in the 2 dates, and I noticed off to the side, after it said 13,839 days, it said 1,977 weeks. So it was just a fluke that I came across.
Am I allowed to use that?
Sure, absolutely.
I would certainly give
Give old Sanford a little credit. So.
When you were pulling up on the bus, was there any thought in your mind, I'll be here one day, or I would like to work?
No, never. I mean, I was in grad school, and it was November the 12th, so I was still, the rest of the academic year before looking for a job. So I never dreamed that I would be, coming here. And 38 years later, I'm still here.
Did you meet Mr. B that day? I mean, was that the first
I
time you ever
did,
met
yes.
him?
I did meet Mr. Bradley. Of course, he was a little busy that day. There was quite a bit of media, but it was just me and Mr. Valdesari from Notre Dame, so I got to meet him and Al Adams, and who I would later replace 9 months later. So.
Does it put a bit of a gold star on this week that not only is Notre Dame coming here, but with game day, both teams ranked, both undefeated, it just seems like the perfect storm for you.
Yeah, it has, and really for both programs, this is actually the first time since 1987 that both programs have been undefeated going into the month of October. So you had that coming. You pretty much had to have both teams undefeated to get game day here. So that's kind of come together. But yeah, it's just about everybody you can think of is coming. I think even CNN's doing some hits here Friday and Saturday. Sports Center on Saturday morning. So yeah, it's going to be quite a weekend.
Sorry, for people who are just fans, they say there's no way you can love 2 schools or 2 programs. But when you were at Notre Dame 2 weeks ago, did that feel like home? Does this feel like home? Is it possible to love 2 programs?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I got here because of the reputation of Notre Dame's athletic department, and specifically the reputation that Roger Valdesari had. As I said earlier, he was the Bob Bradley of Notre Dame, and so having worked for both of them, it's meant everything to my career. if I hadn't worked for Notre Dame, I probably wouldn't have gotten this job here. And then working for Mr. Bradley was just, you know, a wonderful experience. I learned so much from both of them. I can say to my own interview, anything else?
One more question. He's got to go.